tell us about Smile. I'm not going to do the Smile. We were all going to do the Smile.
All do the Smile. Freak out YouTube. Go on.
I feel like no. We're just going to be really serious.
Okay. Right. So Smile is a killer concept. If you've seen the trailer, if you've seen the posters, you'll have picked up on that just insane, creepy grin that seems to be leering out of the screen at you.
Great marketing, isn't it?
I mean that in itself, but what Paramount did in the States by sticking those plants at strategically placed sporting events and standing incredibly still, but just with that smile on, I thought was absolutely genius. But to be fair, that is how the film starts. That sense of just creepy unease is how the film starts, and it starts off with a hell of a bang. Sosie Bacon, Kevin Bacon and Cara Cedric's daughter, plays a mental health doctor who's called in to speak to a young girl who has had a mental health breakdown after having witnessed the suicide of a professor. Next thing you know, that creepy grin breaks out. She breaks apart and she slices her own throat, still with that awful, awful grin plastered on her face. It's shot incredibly stylishly, very plain pastel backgrounds, slow camera moves, the actors small in frame so that basically your eyes are drawn. It like sucks you in to what's going on. It's a superb start. It's a superb premise. It's a shame the film couldn't really maintain that style and panache, pace, and sense of creeping dread, though, from the first act. It sets itself up with a fantastic premise that this notion of a past grief is linked to this notion of smile that leads all kinds of credence. You know, when people said, I think I put it in the tagline in the review, you know, would it kill you to smile? You know, this notion of something so inherently human and warm being warped and distorted is a fantastic, solid gold. Hairs on the back of your neck raising kind of premise, but unfortunately they turn it, the screenwriters turn it into a creature feature. You know, it's not as cleverly linked to, you know, human grief, trauma, manifest, etc. Nope, there's just a good old-fashioned beastie in it. And of course, it being a modern horror film, it's a good old-fashioned, horribly designed, poorly rendered CG beastie. And when the film starts off in that beautiful, modern, slick, creepy, empty sort of kind of universe, it ends in your very typical isolated cabin in the woods with a
down by yourself.
With
work call.
With a very, very you know, generic sense of, oh look, it's a monster, oh look, phew, the heroine has survived, but oh look, here comes that horribly generic twist ending that everyone saw coming. So Smile for me did enough in its first half. Its first half was an absolute cast iron 8/9 out of 10 for me. Style, premise. Sosie Bacon was brilliant. She completely held the screen. But sadly, its second half was really a 5 out of 10. It just settled too much back into generic tropes and stereotypes. However, what I will say is it's probably still well worth going out to get to the cinema. There were a couple of fantastically orchestrated jump scares in that first act that literally had the entire cinema jumping and laughing. You know, the real reason you go to see a horror movie in the cinema. So for that reason alone, it's well worth getting out to the flicks to see. I gave it a 6 out of 10. I would have given it a 6.5 out of 10 if AVForums did half marks, but don't. And I couldn't justify its second half getting anywhere near a 7. But
decimal places.
Decimal
places.
Consider a 6.49, if you will, that rounds down to a 6. But no,
nice.
Fantastic premise, good jump scares. Shame about the ending. Go see.